I don't want to see your face, and I don't even care about your congratulations. Why did you bother coming to the house?
With that, Noah snatched the envelope containing the wedding gift right out of my hand. What's with your attitude? I came all this way to celebrate your wedding.
You didn't need to bring it in person. You could have just mailed the gift. Now you're done, so get out now.
He waved his hand dismissively, trying to shoo me away. Unable to hold back my frustration at Noah's heartless behavior, I decided to give him some advice for his future as his family. Noah, you've always had short-lived relationships with women, haven't you? If you don't change your behavior, your marriage is bound to fail too. Noah's face turned sour.
Shut up. Mind your own business. Anyway, I'll take the gift. But just so you know, I've never thought of you as my family. Got it? Don't ever come back here again.
With that, Noah kicked me out. As I left, officially disowned, I muttered to myself. So, this is it. Being disowned. Finally, I'm free from that family. Overjoyed, I got into my car, and before starting the engine, I eagerly pulled out my phone. Then, brimming with excitement, I made a call to a certain place. My name is Catherine, and I was born as the eldest daughter of a family that has been farming for generations in a small rural town. I have an older brother, Noah, who is 2 years my senior. Being the eldest son, Noah was raised in an overly protective way. As a result, he developed a somewhat arrogant personality. There was a clear difference in the way our parents treated Noah and me. For Noah's birthday, they would prepare cakes and feasts and throw grand parties. But on my birthday, even though I was supposed to be the center of attention, Noah would say,
I want to go to an amusement park that day.
To my disbelief, my parents would agree to his request and take him to the amusement park, leaving me behind at home to watch the house.
Why do Dad and Mom always listen to Noah?
Growing up like this, I was hurt from an early age. And while Noah was sent to college, I was told to find a job immediately after graduating from high school and was kicked out of the house as soon as I started working. Even as a child, Noah would occasionally bully me.
Stop it, Noah. That hurts. Mom, Noah is hitting me.
I turned to my mom, Monica, for help, but she hardly listened to me and always took Noah's side.
You must have done something to upset Noah, Catherine. It's all your fault.
With those words, my mom never stood up for me. My dad was completely submissive to my mom and had no real presence in the family, as she held all the authority. One day, my mom said this to me.
Catherine, the way you talk sometimes is so much like Ashley. How irritating.
Ashley was my grandmother, my mom's mother-in-law. Apparently, my expressions and tone when I voiced complaints were strikingly similar to my late grandmother's. Mom had always disliked my grandmother and had practically abandoned her in a care facility during her final years. Maybe my mom saw my grandmother in me and treated me coldly because of it.
If I didn't remind her of Grandma, would she have treated me better?
Time went on, and my dad passed away. With his death, Noah inherited the family estate and became even more arrogant than before. Whenever I visited home, He would say things like,
Hey, this is my house now. If you, an outsider, want to stay here, you need to pay $500 a night.
he would also charge me for meals, even when it was just cheap microwave dinners.
Meal costs are $100 per meal.
No way. I'm not paying that. That's ridiculous. Of course, I never paid, because why should I have to pay such outrageous fees to stay at my own family home? Meanwhile, my mom would demand monthly financial support from me.
Catherine, do you know how much it costs to raise you? Who do you think you have to thank for getting this far?
Faced with that, I couldn't argue back. As a result, I reluctantly send money every month. At one point, she even asked me to pay for repairs to part of the house that had been damaged. Meanwhile, Noah used the inheritance from Dad to buy a car and take trips with Mom. Sure, I owe them for raising me, but why am I the only one who's been kicked out and still has to send money? Eventually, I started dreading visits to my childhood home. Even though Noah didn't take over the family farm, he must have a job somewhere. Yet strangely, my mom's demands for money kept increasing. Noah inherited the house and the land, so why am I being asked for so much money? This is seriously strange. According to relatives, it seemed that Noah was blowing through his salary as soon as he earned it and had even spent all of Dad's inheritance. On top of that, he had used the inherited farmland as collateral to take out loans from a finance company. When I found out, I couldn't stay silent and confronted Noah. Noah, don't you think you're being way too reckless with money? You need to be more careful with how you spend it.
Shut up. You don't know anything about my situation, so stop complaining about how I use my money, you annoying woman.
Noah hated having these kinds of conversations with me. As usual, Mom, who was listening, chimed in with something absurd.
You should pay off Noah's debt.
Why should I? Of course, I argued back. However, Mom ordered me to pay it.
Noah is the eldest son, so it's the family's duty to cover his debts.
By the way, I was already married at this point. I turned to my husband, James, for advice. Hey James, I need to talk to you. Mom told me I should pay off Noah's debt because it's a family obligation. What should I do? James knew all about my family situation. After hearing the story, he sympathized with me and said,
Your family never changes, Catherine.
he was frustrated with both Noah and Mom, who couldn't stand up to him. But he still offered to help because they were technically my family. Thanks, James. I'm sorry for always dragging you into this. Around that time, my mom's chronic back pain worsened.
It hurts. I can't even move like this.
Due to her back pain, Mom could neither get up nor move around. But Noah refused to take care of her, using his job as an excuse.
I have a job, so I can't take care of Mom or do errands for her. Besides, that's women's work, isn't it?
With that, Noah dumped the responsibility for her care and transportation onto me, even though I lived over 2 hours away by car. Even if he says that, I have a job too, so it's impossible for me. Still, I couldn't just leave Mom in such a helpless state, so I decided to hire a caregiver. When Noah found out, he said this to me.
You're the worst. How could you shove a family member's care onto a stranger? Is taking care of her really that much of a hassle for you?
I was unfairly criticized by Noah for hiring help. One day, I got a rare phone call from my mom. "Hello, what's up?" When I asked, she told me that Noah was getting married.
Noah is getting married, so make sure you send a proper wedding gift, okay? Oh, and we're having a wedding, but Noah is the star of the show, and you're busy, right? You don't have to come, but don't forget to send the gift.
Even though she said that, I decided to visit home to show my face as a family member. Noah had always been popular with women since his school days. But because of his personality, his relationships never lasted long. When I went back home to congratulate him, Noah greeted me in his usual tone.
Oh, Catherine. Didn't Mom tell you there was no need to come? What are you even doing here?
Despite his unpleasant attitude, I held back my frustration and replied since I was there to celebrate. "Noah, you're getting married, right? So I wanted to congratulate you in person and brought a wedding gift." However, Noah responded sarcastically.
You could have just sent the gift. I don't want to see your face, and I don't even care about your congratulations. Why did you bother coming?
He then snatched the gift envelope from my hand.
Well, now you've done what you came for, right?
With that, he waved his hand dismissively, trying to shoo me out. Unable to tolerate Noah's heartless behavior any longer, I couldn't help but complain. "What's with your attitude? I came all this way to celebrate your wedding." Feeling it was my duty as family, I decided to give him some advice, even if it wasn't my place. "Noah, you've always had short-lived relationships with women, right? If you don't change your behavior, your marriage might fail soon." Noah's face darkened.
Stop nagging. Mind your own business.
"I'm saying this is family. With a personality like yours, I can't help but worry about your marriage. I feel sorry for your wife."
What? As my family, you say?
Noah smirked and laughed.
I've never thought of you as my family, not once.
"What?" I froze at his words.
I will take the gift, but just so you know, I've never considered you part of this family.
"I see."
Yeah, now get out. And don't ever come back here again. You're not family, remember?
"Never come back? Are you saying we're done for good?" I asked for confirmation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now get out.
With that, Noah kicked me out. So, this is it. Being disowned. After being told I was disowned, I got into my car and muttered to myself, "Finally, I'm free from that family." Out of Noah's sight, I secretly celebrated with my joy. After getting into the car, before even starting the engine, I took a certain action. Well, first, I need to call that place. Saying that, I picked up the phone and called a certain finance company. I told them that I would no longer be paying off Noah's debts. Because I've been disowned, Until now, I only paid because I was told it was my responsibility as his family. After finishing the call, I smiled and muttered to myself, now I don't have to cover Noah's debts anymore since we're no longer family. Ye for being disowned. Relieved to be free from Noah's massive debt, I cheerfully started the car and drove off. A little while later, I passed a car from the finance company heading toward the family home. Could they be on their way to Noah's place to collect? Though curious about the car, I continued straight home. When I arrived and checked my phone, I saw more than 10 missed calls from Noah. Why so many calls? Well, I can guess what it's about. I decided to call him back. The moment he picked up, Noah yelled at me.
Do you realize what you've done?
Noah was furious. What do you mean, what I've done? I asked innocently. It turned out that after my call, the finance company decided to take drastic action and went to the family home. Realizing Noah's inability to pay, they probably felt the need to act urgently to recover their loan. When the debt collectors suddenly showed up at the house, Noah was caught off guard.
Debt collectors. This is bad. They look tough, and I don't have the money to pay them right now. This is serious.
Feeling the pressure, Noah abandoned Mom, who was bedridden with back pain, and escaped the house on his own. As he ran off, the debt collectors, laughing, approached the immobile Mom.
Hey, he just left her behind. What a terrible son.
Noah, please wait. Don't leave me here.
However, Noah ignored Mom's screams as the men approached her and desperately ran away. Once he was in a safe place, he contacted me.
Because of you, the debt collectors came to the house. Now I'm on the run from them. What are you going to do about it?
Noah directed his anger at me. What do you mean, because of me? It's your fault for racking up such massive debt in the first place. I refused to back down and argued back. Besides, I'm not family anymore, so your debts have nothing to do with me. I don't see why I should take any complaints about them. I added sarcastically.
Shut up.
And you're an adult, Noah. You should be able to handle this on your own. I dismissed him coldly. Noah couldn't argue back and ended the call, muttering angrily under his breath. From what I heard later, Noah managed to evade the debt collectors that day, but just barely. The next day, the debt collectors showed up at Noah's workplace. Naturally, this caused a huge inconvenience for his coworkers. Because of Noah's debt, the workplace's operations were disrupted. Seeing the debt collectors at his workplace, Noah panicked.
Debt collectors here. My coworkers will find out about my debt.
It turned out Noah hadn't just borrowed from legitimate financial institutions. He had also taken out loans from loan sharks. The intimidating-looking men approached Noah.
Sorry for bothering you here. Maybe we can talk outside.
Noah tried to defuse the situation, but the loan sharks loudly demanded repayment right there, exposing his debt to everyone around. His coworkers started whispering among themselves and giving him cold looks, which Noah could clearly feel. Hearing the commotion, Noah's boss frowned. Already dissatisfied with Noah's work ethic, the boss, upon learning about his significant debt, said this:
Having someone in debt like this involved in company operations isn't ideal. It's a matter of trust.
With the disruption caused by the loan sharks and the impact on the workplace, Noah was handed a termination notice.
I've been fired from my job.
But that wasn't the end of the ordeal. Noah called me again, this time in desperation. What is it now? I answered the phone sounding annoyed, and Noah pleaded with me.
Catherine, help me. Mom's been taken by them.
When I asked, Noah explained that when the loan sharks came to the house, he fled, leaving Mom behind. As a result, she was taken as a hostage and was now under their supervision. Mom's been taken by loan sharks? Noah, you're unbelievable. What are you even doing? Despite my frustration, I couldn't ignore the situation. But I can't just leave this alone. What should I do? Is Mom okay? I consulted my husband, James. After hearing the situation, James thought carefully.
This isn't something we can handle ourselves. You can't fight loan sharks and expect to win.
With that, James reported the matter to the police and explained the situation. Thanks to his report, the police took over handling the loan sharks. Thank goodness. With the police involved, Mom should be safe. However, Noah still had to repay the legitimate loans. Unable to come up with the money to repay his debts, Noah decided to use his last resort: selling the house.
Well, I guess I have no choice. I'll have to sell the house.
To discuss selling the house, Noah went to a real estate agency.
Excuse me, I'd like to sell my house.
We can't proceed with the transaction unless the registered owner is present. Since you're not the owner, we can't purchase the house from you.
As the discussion progressed, the real estate company refused the sale. They told Noah he would need to bring the registered owner if he wanted to sell the house.
They said, I can't sell this house.
It turned out that the house was in my name. There was a reason for this. When the old family home had become too rundown to live in, Mom, as usual, demanded money from me to rebuild.
We can't live in that decrepit old house anymore. We need to build a new one. Of course, Catherine will cover the cost, right?
Hearing this, James said,
Well, since it's Monica's request, I suppose we can.
With that, James paid for the new house in my name. Since I was the registered owner, Noah couldn't sell the house, and he was frustrated that things didn't go as he had planned.
Those two always have to interfere with everything.
But the fact was, it had been Mom's wish to rebuild the house. Since Noah, the heir, was already in debt, he couldn't pass the loan application process, so the ownership was transferred to me. Noah should have known this all along. We paid almost the entire cost of the house. At least it couldn't be sold off without my permission. But Noah didn't care about any of that. He arrogantly tried to sell the house anyway, and his plan failed.
This is ridiculous. It's the house I've lived in since I was a kid. I should be able to do whatever I want with it.
No matter how much he complained, he couldn't sell the house. His plans completely fell apart. With the house sale blocked and his savings running dry, Noah turned to his partner, Emma, for money.
Hey, Emma, please. Can you lend me some money?
Emma's parents were business owners and wealthy. Noah had targeted Emma, seeing her as a way to secure a comfortable life.
So Emma is from a rich family. If we get married, life will be so much easier.
With his polished exterior, Noah managed to fool Emma. However, Emma's employer was none other than my husband, James. As the discussions about their marriage progressed, Emma started having doubts about continuing with the relationship.
I believe James' wife is Noah's sister, right? I actually have something I want to consult with you about regarding my partner, Noah.
Emma sought James' advice about Noah. I was asked to join one of their discussions as well. It seemed Emma had started to notice Noah's character flaws, though she was hesitant to fully admit it.
I hate that I can't fully trust my partner, but something about Noah's personality keeps bothering me.
Perhaps Emma was hoping we'd reassure her that Noah was actually a good person, giving her the confidence to ignore her doubts. However, James and I, thinking of Emma's well-being, decided to be honest. As his sister, I hate to say this, but I think it would be better if you didn't go through with this. Emma, aren't you already aware of Noah's personality?
I don't like to speak ill of others either, but honestly, I think marrying Noah isn't a good idea.
We expressed our reservations about Noah and Emma's marriage. However, Emma didn't expect Noah's own family to speak poorly of him and oppose the marriage, which made her take a defensive stance and try to protect Noah instead.
That's not true. He is kind, you know? Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses.
She stubbornly tried to defend him. Maybe he's kind to you now, but eventually Noah will show his true colors. But Emma shook her head.
Still, he proposed to me, and I want to try believing in him a little longer.
Trying to push aside her doubts, Emma insisted on moving forward with the wedding plans. When I heard about the upcoming wedding, I sighed. If that's what Emma wants, then I guess there's nothing we can do.
Honestly, I wanted to stop the wedding. Maybe Emma didn't expect us to speak so harshly about Noah.
Since she had made up her mind, we decided to support her. However, Noah turned out to be an even bigger problem than Emma had imagined. The situation became so bad that Emma was at her wit's end.
I can't do this. There's no way I can marry someone like him. I didn't realize how awful he was. Oh, I should have listened to you too.
Just before the wedding, Emma finally realized how terrible Noah's character was and came crying to James and me.
I'm so sorry for not taking your advice back then. I didn't realize he was this bad. I wanted to believe in him.
As we listened, Emma revealed something shocking. Noah had been showing up at her parents' house every night, demanding money. Persistently ringing the doorbell, Noah pleaded,
Hey, Emma, come on. Your partner is in trouble here. Just lend me some money.
This put Emma and her parents, who lived with her, in a difficult position.
What should we do? He's here again.
Hey, are you listening? Please, I'm begging you.
The thought that Noah might show up again tonight to demand money terrified Emma.
I had no idea he had so much debt. What are we going to do? At this rate, he's going to drain our family's assets.
Crying, Emma came to James and me for advice.
At this point, I think you should hire a lawyer and call off the engagement. Considering the circumstances, they should be able to help you.
Reflecting on her situation, Emma decided to follow James' advice. Through a lawyer, Emma officially notified Noah of the engagement cancellation.
Calling off the engagement. Damn it. Who's behind this?
Furious about the broken engagement, Noah stormed over to me and accused me.
Hey, Catherine. You must be said something to Emma, didn't you? It's your fault she called off my engagement.
Hearing Noah's yelling, James rushed to see what was going on. While Noah acted tough with me, his demeanor completely changed when he saw James, the CEO of the company.
Oh, James. It's such an honor to see you.
Noah started groveling, trying to gauge James' mood. Seeing this, James coldly asked,
Noah, what's all this commotion about?
Oh, I'm sorry for raising my voice. By the way, James, I have a favor to ask.
With that, Noah suddenly began to plead.
Please hire me. I need a job.
Excuse me?
James was taken aback by Noah's sudden request. Of course, there was no way James would hire someone like Noah.
I lost my job because of my debts, and now I have nowhere else to go. Please, I'm begging you.
James and I were completely fed up.
I've heard plenty about you from Catherine. There's no way it'd hire someone like you.
Catherine, what lies have you been telling James about me?
Noah glared at me resentfully.
Please leave. You're causing a disturbance.
With that, James forced Noah out.
Wait. Please, James. I'm begging you.
Noah tried to cling to James, but James ignored him and firmly shut the door. Meanwhile, Mom, who had been rescued from the loan sharks, was placed in a senior care facility thanks to James' arrangements.
So, Mom's safe. That's a relief.
Noah looked visibly relieved to hear about her safety. Noah went to visit Mom.
If Mom's gone, I won't be able to get her savings.
His concern wasn't about Mom's well-being, but rather the small amount of savings she had left.
Hey, Mom, it's me. I'm so glad you're okay.
However, Mom was deeply frightened by being abducted and held captive by the loan sharks, and the stress and emotional shock she experienced until her rescue were immense. As a result, she had started to develop dementia. When Mom saw Noah's face, she looked at him curiously and said,
Oh, who are you?
Mom had completely forgotten her son's face.
No way, Mom. You don't even remember your own son?
Noah grabbed her shoulders in disbelief, but even then, Mom couldn't recall who he was.
Stop it. Don't be rough with me.
She pushed his hands away, clearly uncomfortable. Of course, Noah couldn't access her savings, which were now under management.
Damn it. Even Mom's no help anymore.
Late at night, in a fit of desperation, Noah attempted to break into our house.
Hey, it's me. I know you're in there. Let me in.
At this unreasonable hour, James angrily confronted him.
Do you even know what time it is? There's no way I'm letting you in. Go home.
Their argument went on for a while, but eventually the police surrounded our house.
What? The police?
Give it up. You're completely surrounded.
The police addressed Noah through a loudspeaker. Noah's loud and aggressive shouting was so disruptive that nearby residents, mistaking him for a notorious nighttime burglar, reported him to the police. Noah insisted to the police.
I belong to this household.
Is he really family?
No, he's not. Noah wasn't arrested but was released with a stern warning. Unable to bear the cold stares of those around him, he quietly left. Later, I heard from relatives that Mom, now in the facility, had started muttering to herself frequently due to her dementia.
I'm sorry, Ashley. I'm so sorry.
Apparently, she kept apologizing repeatedly. According to relatives, Mom had once been scolded by my grandmother, Ashley, for neglecting housework to go on trips with her friends. Mom had also been a spendthrift, and my grandmother had often lamented how hard it was to save money. Like mother, like son, I suppose. I couldn't help but feel oddly convinced.
I'm glad you didn't turn out like those two, Catherine.
Me too. I'm grateful I take after Grandma. With that, James and I exchanged a glance and laughed.